What's up YouTube? Javi here at Javi's Boom Tech, and today we're checking out the VTIN 20-watt portable Bluetooth and waterproof speaker. You're not gonna want to miss it, so let's get started. Alright guys, so like I said, we are checking out the VTIN 20-watt portable Bluetooth and waterproof speaker. Now overall, looking at the speaker, you can definitely tell it is built for tough. It can take a beating and keep on ticking. Overall, it's got a pretty good form factor. It's not too big and just big enough to feel quite sturdy and have some substance to it. Now, even though the speaker is primarily made out of plastic, it does have this nice rubber matte finish going all around the speaker to give it a good grip, and a nice aluminum grill both on front and back. Now, in the front of the speaker, you've got your two full range drivers, and on the back, you have your passive radiator. Now, those two full range drivers are pushing out 10 watts of power each for a total of 20 watts of power. Moving on up to the top of the speaker, we've got your standard music controls, your volume up, volume down, speakerphone capabilities, not to mention that the speakerphone button also serves as a play pause button. And then of course, we've got your power button. Moving over to the side of the speaker, opening the flap, we've got your two ports, an auxiliary in, and your micro USB charging port. Now you will need to seal that rubber flap close in order to make this speaker waterproof. On the other side, we've got a nice little rubber loop that's gonna allow you to attach a nice little lanyard. That way you can easily carry it if you wanna put it in a bag or a purse. Now, like I mentioned before, guys, this speaker is packing 20 watts of power. It's rated #1 on Amazon for sub $50 speakers. It is capable of 25 hours of battery life. Now, of course, that's gonna depend heavily on how high you have the volume. Obviously, the lower you have the volume, the more battery life you're gonna get. So to help me out on the sound test, I'm gonna be testing out another speaker that's also highly rated on Amazon. It's the Divoom VoomBox Party. Now this speaker is also a 20-watt speaker. However, it is considerably heavier and a bit larger than the VTIN, and it's also not waterproof. It is weatherproof. However, you're not gonna be able to dunk it in the pool like you can the VTIN. So I'm really interested to see how these two speakers pair up, especially given the fact that the VTIN is considerably smaller and lighter. If I can get comparable sound to the VoomBox, I'm definitely gonna go towards the VTIN, just because, like I said, it's gonna be a lot easier to carry around due to the smaller and lighter form factor. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into the sound test.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. Hold me close till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways left. And on we'll go. towards the sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, and on we'll go.
God of the day, when I would wait in loneliness, you came and reigned. God of the day, when I would wait in loneliness, you came and reigned. All of your love into my life, you're a dream to me, a clear view. All of your love into my life, you're a dream to me, a clear vision of happiness. Reality can never ever be enough. Vision of happiness. Reality can never ever be enough. Yes. Happiness. So happy. Like a light you glow. So happy. Like a light you glow, I won't let you slip away. You always show me your love unconditional. I won't let you slip away. You always show me your love unconditional. So please never change. Perfect just the way you are. Additional. So please never change. You're perfect just the way you are.
All right, guys, so there you have it. The sound test with the VTIN Punker up against the Divoom VoomBox Party. Now I gotta hand it to the VoomBox. It definitely outperforms the VTIN when it comes to low end. However, it is a much larger speaker, not to mention that it has two passive radiators and a powered sub on the front of the speaker. So it definitely outdoes the VTIN when it comes to low end performance. On the treble performance, even though the VTIN is a little bit brighter and a little bit clearer sounding, it does tend to sizzle a bit, especially on that first song. The second song, it did better. However, that's something to definitely notice. On the VoomBox, however, you don't get that bright treble response. You get more of a muffled overall response. So it definitely lacks detail when it comes to that. On overall loudness, as you could probably tell on the first sound test, even though both are rated at 20 watts, the VoomBox definitely gets louder quicker. At 50% volume, it is the equivalent of 70% on the VTIN. Now, that being said, when you do bring the VTIN to 50%, it really lacks any life. The sound's a bit muted and there's just not much detail. You kind of have to bring it up to 60% or higher to get some decent sound out of the VTIN. Whereas the VoomBox at 50%, you're getting some nice low-end performance, albeit you're missing a little bit of that nice treble response because it does sound a bit muted. Overall, I did prefer the sound of the VoomBox, even though it is a lot bigger and not to mention a lot heavier than the VTIN. It honestly feels like I'm picking up a brick. It's that heavy, probably because of all the additional passive radiators and that powered sub in the front. Not only that, but it's only weatherproof and not waterproof like the VTIN is. Price-wise, both speakers are relatively close in price. The VTIN comes in at just under 50 bucks at $49, and the VoomBox comes in at about 65 bucks. So honestly, if I were choosing between the two, I'd probably put in the extra 10, 15 bucks and go with the bigger sound of the VoomBox, even though it is definitely lacking in the treble response. With a little bit of EQ, you can probably fix it just a bit to sound a little bit better overall. Obviously, the louder you go, and you do need to push the speaker a little bit louder than normal to get a little bit more detail in the sound, you're gonna get a lot less battery life. However, you're probably still gonna be able to eke out between 7 and 8 hours at max, which is definitely gonna be more than what you're getting on the VoomBox. All right, guys, that about does it with this review. I hope you guys had a great weekend. And if I don't see you before Christmas, I wish all of you guys a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.